Hello, Disney Infinity Trainers. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Toy Box on iStarlyTV. If you're watching this, you enjoy building toy boxes on camera. Today I'm playing as Baloo because I felt like I needed some happy-go-lucky attitude in my toy box for the day. Today we're building something really special. This is going to be the Hall of Viewers. And as you can see, we're in a brand new toy box, as is often the case lately. Let's go ahead and start, I guess. And I'll start kind of explaining it so that I'm not just standing around. But for this type of toy box, I want to use the Golden Realm of Asgard as kind of my base. I'm going to set that as the theme for right now. This is going to function as my Hall of Viewers episode, but it's also in some ways going to end up being similar to some kind of like how to build kind of a museum type of thing. Because that's what we're doing. We're building a museum type setting that is going to serve to honor and represent our viewers on the channel. And I really want to take this moment to say how much I appreciate all of you for enjoying our content and supporting us. And you know, every time you like one of our videos or share one of our videos or even just comment on one of our videos, it means so much to us. I think commenting is a big one because it shows that you're engaging with what we're making and you care about it, and that's really important to us. I mean, one of the reasons we started this was just to have fun and just to, do some silly things in the form of videos. But it's really taken off and people actually do enjoy what we do. And I think that that's such an honor. So I definitely want to honor you all for your part in our channel, really, for being a part of this. So the Hall of Viewers is going to be a toy box where you are going to be featured in a way. I'll get to that in a little bit, but basically you are going to choose a townsperson, any townsperson in the game, and we're going to use that to represent you. It can be a townsperson, I guess it can also be a cast member, and I'm going to just kind of place them, and they're going to kind of represent you. So you can choose a townsperson, and one that you'd like to represent you, any character or whatever it might be to represent you. So I do encourage you to comment below which character you would like to see represent you, because like I said, this is all about you, and we're building this kind of like a museum. So like I said a little earlier, this is kind of like how to build a museum as well. So this is going to be similar to the museum kind of toy box that I built and used as an arena in one of our previous Disney Infinity Games installments. And so if you want to check that out, I'll post a link to some videos with that one in the description right here. It's a lot of fun, and I was really proud of myself. I used that as my contest submission for the Toy Box Summit to be a master toy box artist last summer. Obviously I did not win, but it was a lot of fun to make and I really enjoyed that. So this is going to start out being, this area right here is going to kind of start out by being our lobby kind of area. And then we're going to have kind of stairs that are going to go up to each kind of part of the museum, I guess, for lack of a better word. And I'm drawing a blank there. And that's where, the viewers are going to be featured. So yeah, I encourage you all to leave your comments below. And I do want to just thank you all. And I'll probably thank you again. But anyways, let's see, I did this a little early, so we're going to set the theme here first. I like the Asgardian stone because it matches with the Asgard print. We want this to be kind of regal in a way, and so these gold colors in the Asgard terrain are really kind of useful for this type of setup. I don't want it to be too like metallic or even wooden. I do want it to be kind of regal, for lack of a better word. So we have the Asgardian stone, but there's also another Asgardian one, which is this one. It's purely called Asgardian. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to set the theme there. I'm going to theme all, and then I'm going to go ahead and set the theme just in case we want this one. I think this is the one we want, though. This is definitely the one I'm using for the previous museum toy box that I built, but I do want to make some changes to what I'm building here. So we're going to have some stairs because there are going to be a lot of exhibits. That is the word I was looking for, exhibits. There are going to be a lot of toy box townsperson, viewer exhibits, and so we're gonna need some stairs here. I haven't really mapped it out. I'm honestly kind of building all of this on the fly, so we'll see how it turns out. And basically this is going to be like a museum, and so for that reason this is going to end up being completely covered, which is why I've chosen the pure white sky, because it's really bright. And so once we've covered everything with all of the other terrain pieces and we look like we're inside of a building, then you know, you'll be able to see, because the sky beneath it is really bright. I made the mistake when I originally built the toy box and I used the Nemo underwater sky. I love that sky because it has really peaceful music, but the problem with it is that it's kind of dark. It has a lot of blue colors, kind of a lot of deep blue colors. And so because of that, when you were inside of this enclosed area, it was pretty dark, and so it was kind of hard to see. And that made it look pretty cool, but at the same time, the fact that it was hard to see it kind of took away from the experience. So we want as bright as can possibly be. And what I'm also going to do here is, you can see those gaps in the stairs. Because the background is pure white, we're definitely going to want to cover those up with some basic blocks behind the edges there, so that we don't see those revealed. And this is going to be a longer process. So for this episode, I'm just kind of building the structure of this museum, of this hall of viewers. And then, of course, I'd like you all to comment. And this will be ongoing for several episodes, where you can comment and leave suggestions for a character that you would like to see represent yourself. Okay, so we've gone ahead and done this. Not sure if I ruined it completely, but... So the level is lower. I think that's fine. I think that can work. So we can just go ahead and delete those. We can delete these pieces, which is a little awkward. Oh, we're gonna need to add some more basic blocks to fill the gaps. But for right now, oh, of course, if it's not one thing, it's another. So what we did was we really just shortened this in a huge way, and I don't think that's a good thing. It's trial and error, folks. Okay, I think I have something of an idea, and really this build, or the building of this project, is going to change very frequently, because it involves you all. It involves the viewers, and so for that reason, it's going to be difficult for me to just kind of build something and build some finite, definite shape and hope that it sticks. So, you know, because you're all involved and I want to incorporate all of you viewers into this, I do think that it's gonna, you know, take some process. So let's go ahead and see how this looks, just to kind of adorn the stair railings. And I probably will end this episode. I know this is earlier than I normally do, but this is kind of serving as an announcement for the Hall of Viewers, and I'll kind of get to the, you know, requirements for having your own character placed in the toy box. So very, very simple right now. Okay, so I know I said that this would be closed off, and it's likely to still be, but maybe this section right here could be open to the whiteness, or maybe I'll just still close it off, but I'll still have these obelisks. But as I've said in a previous video, I really like these obelisks a lot. These toy boxes right here, or these toys right here, and I think that this is a cool toy box to utilize them in, because, you know, this is a very regal type of toy box. So this is going to be the time for them to shine. Yeah, so that's how the toy box is going to be broken up, just into different areas. I think we can fit, you know, a few different little guys here. And so here's how I'm going to want it to go for right now. I'm not sure. I probably will change this. Or I don't think I'll change it, sorry. This is how I want it to go for now. And And this is going to be kind of the format for your request for your character. So we're going to have a basic block as the kind of pedestal for the character. The pillar ones work excellently, as well as the square blocks. So a square block, a pillar block, any block that a townsperson can stand on that is not too tall. So this is way too tall for your character to be on. We want to be able to walk through here and see them. So something like this is also perfect, the upside down triangle. So I would appreciate that if you could suggest one of these. And what we might have to do is lower these a little bit, because as you can see, they're kind of high. So what I think I can do is I can probably use the path creator to sink these into the ground so that they're a little lower, because right now they're really high up. But I want you to request a basic block that is about this tall and this wide. So something like this is perfect. Again, the pillar block and the square block are also perfect. Request one of those basic blocks. That's going to be the pedestal for your character. Then please request the character that you would like to represent you. It can be anything, as long as it's a character that can stand still. It can be a baby bantha. Let's see if this has the properties like townspeople. It does not have the ability to stand still, although I could be wrong about this, but I think that because he's on this platform, he's not going to walk off of it, so he's going to stay there. I think that's the case. So, is he walking off? It looks like he's dangerously close to disobeying us. You deliberately disobeyed me. That's Mufasa right there. All right, so any character, and I would prefer for it to be a townsperson, any townsperson at all. It could be maid or paint job. It could be the alien tourist. It could be Mighty Gidas, although that one's probably reserved for Mighty Gidas if she wants her character in this toy box. It can be literally any townsperson. So in the comments you can say, I want my townsperson to be blank. And you might have to request a couple different ones just in case someone takes yours. But because there are so many characters, it can be Iron Man, it can be Groot, it can be Queen Eleanor Bear. There are so many different ones. I think it's kind of unlikely that two people are going to request the same, but do maybe request 2 or 3 and try to request kind of random ones that, like these townspeople, like Dr. Octopus, that no one really thinks about that often, and request those, and I will put them to represent you in the next episode. And I'll also probably hook it up to a logic gate if you would like to request some kind of a message. These are the things you need to request. Request the townsperson you would like to have represent you, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, just in case someone takes the one you want, as well I don't know why I said it like that, as well as a short message that you would like your character to say. Of course, keep it PG, keep it appropriate for all ages, but just a short message, whatever you would like that to be. So I am the king of this toy box, so I'm going to choose a character to represent me. So my townsperson, I'm going to choose Genie. And I think that Genie is just an awesome character. He's really funny, really silly. I like to be silly and make random jokes. And I think that's my reasoning for that. So I'm just going to put him there. This is just to show an example of how the character will look. Of course, like I said, I'm going to lower these into the ground a little bit. Hopefully that'll work nicely, and so that'll kind of bring them to the eye level of the characters, so that when you're browsing through this museum, you can see them at eye level rather than having to look up. And a couple final things. So first, I would like to say thank you to everyone. Once again, thank you so much for viewing our content and enjoying it, for commenting, for watching, just for being here with us and for us. I really appreciate that. I can't say that enough, because it's been excellent. I mean, we really started posting a lot of consistent videos, namely Disney Infinity and other video games, within the past year, like really within the past year, and I think it's really done well for us. You know, we've gained quite a lot of subscribers in the past year. Our channel's been around for about 3 years now, but we didn't start being consistent with it until the past year.
No reason to hurry.
Probably close to 1,000 subscribers within the year. So
every once in a while.
Really thank you again. I actually have a couple giveaways planned coming up very soon. I'm not sure when I'll announce those. One of them is kind of tied to the finals of the Disney Infinity Games, which will be coming soon as well, so that'll be tied to that. But then there's another one that's kind of its own thing. It's kind of a smaller giveaway, but I'm looking forward to that as well. And finally, what I plan to do with this Hall of Viewers once I'm done with it is attach it to Main Street, our kind of first kind of main area that we built in the Disney Infinity 3.0 toy box. And I'm going to attach it to that. Then what I plan to do is after that's done, I'm going to submit the Main Street toy box to Disney Infinity so that you all can download and play it for yourselves in case you would like to. I will show off Main Street and kind of refresh your memory for all the areas that are connected to Main Street. But what that will allow you to do is play through the kind of storyline of our building of this toy box. If you've been following the series from the beginning, you know, you might see some parts of it that you really like and remember from the episodes. And even if you haven't, you know, it'll give you a pretty big toy box to play through. And this is also the 50th episode of Let's Build a Toy Box. So I think that that's pretty special, and that's another reason why I wanted to do this kind of special episode as well. So before I continue rambling, thank you all again. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But of course, as I said before, leave your suggestions for the character you would like to represent you in the Hall of Viewers. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of the day. I'll see you very soon.